We should be live. Not many people are online, but they're doing something. New Year, the chessboards, what? Wednesday Adams. That's Wednesday Adams. Never mind. Okay, that was Angel. What is the news today? Carlsen is the title. There's nothing here. Wow, so many people are streaming actually. Hello, Mr. Stolen Stalemate. How are you? Yeah, I'm starting the SIMUL. The last SIMUL of this year. And then we have a famous F legend playing. I wonder who he is. Somebody is Big G, really? Let's write him a letter. And in mind your nickname. But could you please remove the picture of me in Kazan? This is important actually. People cannot, you cannot put other people's picture on your profile, okay? That is just really terrible thing to do. Look at this. This guy has, and he's also a national master only. He puts my name. Alright. Hello, Mr. Zavalon TV, how are you? Water Power, thank you for subscribing. What if it's a dead person? You have tile on your profile pic. That person is, I don't know, it's fine to me. As long as, you know, there's no confusion, yeah? Hello, Mr. Falcon, thank you so much. I'm ready for the challenges, gentlemen. I don't see any challenges. The SIMUL time has started. Best wishes for you for 2023 to you guys as well. Hello, Mr. Roller Coaster. As you, yeah, but this is for my Twitch subscribers only, Mr. Stolen Stalemate. The time control is the usual 60-60, 45-45, 45-60, 60-45. Unrated, please. You play with the followers today? No, I play with my Twitch subscribers today. Guys, you have to realize, you know, I don't have much income, okay? And when people subscribe to my channel, they support me. Do you want me to play for free and I don't know, you know, worry about paying my rent next month? I mean, it's nice, but come on. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Stolen Stalemate. Okay. Hello, Mr. Logic. Wait, what happened to Mr. Logic's game? Time control is again 60-60, 45-45. Let's see what this guy writes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Alright. Alright, hopefully that's done. Alright, wait, there are challenges. Okay, logic. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Yes, Mr. Roller Coaster, I saw your message. I checked my Facebook. The person with that nickname is not on my blacklist. I don't know what's going on. So, Mr. Logic, you know I play A4 here, yeah? So, what have you prepared? Can you check again later? It will not be today. It's New Year's Eve, man. But I'll check tomorrow. So bishop to a2. There is a difference. You can put the bishop on b3 and then worry about knight c6, a5, or you can put the bishop on a2, and if the knight goes to b4, you put the bishop on b3. So it's interesting. This little difference is pretty interesting because the knight is on a5 or b4. Which one is better and why? Happy New Year, you too. All right, enjoy, man. Enjoy your New Year's. Worry about chess and everything else later. Invite a girl to a date or, I don't know, something. Celebrate with your family. Thank you. Спасибо, солнышко, man. It's okay. Whatever you want, man. It's up to you. Alright, I don't see any challenges. Where are the challenges? Are you my friend? I'm friendly with everyone until I get disappointed. I mean, that's what is normal, yeah. Basically, you follow the mirror rule. Treat everybody else like they're treating you. That's a general rule in life, man. But now you're asking too many questions. Who is Nolopagus with 10-minute challenge? This is a SIMUL. I don't play 10-minute games. Oh, it's 45. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Stone. Stalemate. Yes, for 10 minutes is not a SIMUL, man. Yeah. 45 or 60. You know, with so many blitz games being played these days, I think return to slower time controls is absolutely necessary if you want to improve in chess. You're not going to improve in chess if you don't have time to think about your moves, options, and weigh, you know, the options and make some sound decisions. If you don't do all that, how are you going to improve? The established players, the grandmasters, they can play because, you know, they already know so much. They know the patterns, they know the decisions, they have the experience. So they actually like playing faster time controls. But, you know, for players who are not grandmasters, you know, I don't really recommend playing blitz at all. Unless just for fun, you know. Yes. All right, Mr. Nolopagus. Yeah, 2 moves, right? You know this rule. Because if you don't make 2 moves on chess.com, the system aborts the game. All right. So it's gonna be C4, you know, classical. You see Magnus versus Rapport Blitz game, wild stuff? No, I didn't see it. Anybody who is my Twitch subscriber can join the SIMUL. Happy New Year, Mr. Nile. Chiselniamus. Oh my god. Dude. Can you come up with something easier to pronounce? Sorry. Your choice, of course, but it's a huge problem for people to greet you. Unless you give them a shorter nickname to say, Happy New Year to you too. No, I did not see Magnus versus Rapport game. I didn't watch much of the Blitz or Rapid Championship this year. Usually I play in these events myself, so I was a little bit disappointed, but you know, it's okay. It's very interesting to see Naka be so extremely solid in Rapid tournament, but he was back to his usual specialist in the Blitz play, But Magnus, in over the board chess, he is the king, obviously. So this is gonna be what? This is Rogozin or something. Actually, they play Queen A4 check these days, Isn't that what they play? What they play here? Could be 3, I'm not a big specialist of this line, I have no idea. Hello, Mr. Kushagra Keshav. Happy New Year. Mr. Roller Coaster, I speak as I have time and desire. I'm in the middle of doing SIMUL for my Twitch subscribers. This chat is not a personal conversation with you only. So please have respect for other people and for what are we doing here. Actually, we're playing chess. We're talking about chess. So knight to d7 probably. To be flexible, to allow for both c5 or e5 possible continuation in the middle game. Knight e4. This is what happens when you don't know your theory. Hello, Mr. HGF3, thank you for subscribing. Yes, you can join now. And you have to challenge me. Hello, Mr. Texas Speed, how are you? Thank you. Yes, Mr. SGF3, make sure it is 60-60, 45-45, it's unrated. Okay, nothing fast. Alright. Let me make 2 moves versus Texas Speeds. Rook e8 with d5 seems pretty normal. Okay. Is our game still active? Your internet went out. Let's see. Yes, because you made 7 moves, so it is active. Yes. Alright, wait, so which game is which is my move? Here. Mr. Texas Speed, you always play this system, yeah? I noticed. So if we try something different today, should be 4. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna try actually this move. Daniel Durus. And Daniel Durus is who? That's you. Okay, great. Alright, welcome to the SIMUL. You're 2100 though. Which is probably a bit too strong for the SIMUL. But it's your choice, of course. Yeah, Sicilian C3s. Thank you so much. I don't have 97, yeah. Question, where should this bishop go? It's a pretty interesting question. Probably bishop f5, yeah? Yeah, it should be bishop f5, I think. Hello, Mr. Kadim. I guess centralization is in vogue these days, so let's do it. Probably a good idea to poke a little bit, or just go for the center. Right. Well, I think you're gonna play this anyway, so probably let's not waste time. Yeah, your development is far better than mine. I agree. Your development is way better than mine. And then you're gonna undermine my pawn structure. Ugh. Damn if I do, damn if I don't. Hello, Mr. Vlad. Vlad, show up in the channel, please. Show me your star, because it's been such a long time. Thank you. Welcome back, sir. Trade is good. I need to make 2 moves versus Vlad. Vlad, you have to make 2 moves, yeah? You know that. You remember. Vlad, your game is about to get aborted. Okay. 1 more move. Excellent. And probably this, yeah. I need to get the sting out of that knight b6 thing. So my rooks are tied up to the defense of the pawn. Queen to d7. What a play. Alright, centralize. You're welcome. What's up, Mr. Koninja? Kudimi? Okay. What do you mean you missed a SIMUL? Just started like 15 minutes ago. But you need to be a subscriber. I don't really want to take because I want the bishop on e4, yeah? But my bishop, this bishop is kind of lousy. Actually, that gives me an idea, yeah? If this bishop is lousy, why don't you just trade him? Yeah, let's go and trade him. Sounds great, no? And we're reaching the Benoni type of position pretty soon. Which is considered to be okay for black, I think. Once you get rid of this bishop on c8. Knight to b1. Okay, a5 for now. Make sure we get the c5 square available. Only question, where is this bishop supposed to be? I feel like he should be on the fade. Alright, and I need to defend this pawn somehow, yeah? Before I can move my knight away. It's easier said than done. Well, there is an idea. There is one idea. I don't quite like it. Okay, I don't have a choice, I think. Okay, 6. I think it's still G6. Should I take knight g5? I'm kind of worried about queen d5 and then mate, knight hanging, bishop hanging. So we're not gonna take this pawn. I'm gonna just take here for now. Because you know that I can take this pawn, right? Because if you take with the queen now, there is check and rook takes. Happy New Year, Miss Subscriber 360. Great time celebrating the holidays. I'm actually getting some rest, man. Which is sometimes just as good. Probably just 95, yeah. Because there is always some sacrifices or something. Alright, d5. Always connect. Threat of a check. Okay. Okay, probably then we should take b6. Looks okay. Bishop c6, right? Although for some reason I thought that I can do that, but I'm wondering now, why did I think it was possible? That's clearly not possible. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, for some reason I thought that I can play knight e4 here. I completely forgot about queen g7. I guess it's time to play queen a5. Knight to c5 or bishop h6. Yeah, try to pin your own knight. A taste of your own medicine, as they like to say. There's nothing wrong with knight c5 though. Alright, bishop g7. And just c4, okay? Just protect the pawn. Queen to b8. Alright, Mr. Logic. Where is this guy going? Curious people would like to know. But you know what? a5 first, probably, yeah? So that we have some options. So there's some tactics here. Some tactics. Have you calculated the tactics? Okay, let's test it. d1. Happy New Year to the everybody. Best preparation for the upcoming tournament, which starts in 3 days. Excellent, good luck. Hopefully you can win big bucks in this tournament. Well, I think we do need to trade this guy, yeah? The bishop is so fantastically strong. Because once I trade this bishop, I get rid of my bad bishop. You can have this small hole there. So bishop g4 back, yes. Because I'm not going to allow you to play g4, obviously. At least not immediately. Then there's a big question where this guy will go. I have no idea. Alright, so take. Now, big question, where this knight on c4 should go. Knight c4 looks so logical. Logical, but probably knight c6 is the right move, yeah. b5, are you sure, Mr. Logic? Alright, let's test. Take. So if I take on g2, rook g1, bishop e4, rook g7, bishop g6, bishop d4, and rook on g7 is not really untouchable, yeah? Makes a lot of sense. Alright, so let's try to kick this bishop. But if I do kick this bishop, then he goes here. So maybe, okay, long castle, yeah? If you allow b5, is coming. So that was the idea behind a5, Mr. Logic, is to make sure that if you take on d5 with the bishop, I take with the pawn, you don't have a5, okay? And your knight cannot go to a6. I wasn't sure if this was really good for me because this pawn now may be a little bit weak, yeah? I thought my structure compensates for it. Alright, we need to push this guy out. Oh! I'm blundering my whole rook. Oh my god. A master of blunders, that's who I am. I just protect the pawn, yeah. Yeah, of course you take my rook. Of course you take my rook. Good evening, Mr. Pantelefiran. How are you, sir? Of course you take my rook. And I have to bring my other knight, but then... Actually a4 first, yeah. Try to get some squares for my pieces. I don't even have a single pawn from my exchange loss. Wanna play? I am checky, wanna play? Not really. Dude, we're playing a SIMUL game, man. What do you think? What do you think this is all about? This is all about the game of chess, man. So now that I blundered the whole thing, I blundered the whole exchange. Question is, can I survive this? And I have a feeling this is not gonna be easy. Okay, let's hope we have better luck in the rook endgame. Actually, knight e7 and bishop f5 here. Or queen d7 and bishop f5 first, yeah. Bishop f5. Let's try to stop the onslaught that my opponent prepares. I like to keep the knight on d4, but on the other hand, well, I don't know, 96 maybe. So stay solid, very solid. e5. Queen d6, very interesting move. Queen d6 is a very interesting move. Okay, if I make a luft for now, what happens? a4, b4, obviously. Queen d7, yes. Rook to c4. Active spielen, yes, Mr. Logic. Always active spielen. I like that. Well, c3 is logical. King e3 is very logical. Very, very logical. Well, I gotta bring the king, yeah. I don't have my choice. Is it okay if you say that you're one of my teachers? I mean, I'm not really a teacher. I just play with you once in a while. Is it called teaching? I don't know. Depends on why you want this questionable. I don't know, man. Why would you want to be? Well, why would you want to be called my? I don't know, student then? Why? I'm not teaching you, man. What am I teaching? What have you learned from me? I haven't taught you much. Let's be realistic. Alright, we gotta essentially bring the knight, yeah. I mean, into the game. We gotta do it. So, the structure. You're gonna try to get the square, yeah? I understand. I understand. Yeah, but allowing a bishop on b5 would be a pretty bad decision. That would be a pretty bad decision. Probably this knight has to go, yeah. He's not doing much. But knight g6? What? Why? Why knight g6? It's kind of a weird move. Oh, you do want to get this knight, yeah, I understand, but... It's kind of weird, man. It has this weird feeling. I cannot explain it. There are some moves, you know, sometimes your intuition tells you that it's like, you know, shouldn't be that great. I don't quite exactly can point why I have this feeling, okay? It's just there. Okay. I had this idea to play knight c7 with the idea of hitting your rook and play knight b5, right? To push your queen out so I can play d6, but unfortunately I can just take, and if d6, queen f7. And then, you know, nothing, yeah. Your knight probably does want to go to f4, yeah. But okay, and if knight d4, rook e4, rook e4, bishop d5, what is that? Knight b5, bishop b3, rook d6. I'm still better, yeah. Okay, so let's try this knight d4. Should work. Knight e3, okay. Actually, 5 I think is okay. Trading on knight is fine. Let's push this queen. Knight to d2, I guess. Get rid of this rook. Now this knight on c5 is pretty much untouchable, yeah? I don't think you can get to him. And if you can get to this knight, how are you gonna break through? Interesting question. So let's go aggro. Let's push the pawn. I mean, do I care about this pawn on f2? Maybe I do, but not as much as I care about other things. So bishop d5. Ah, you have knight f4. Oh my god. Damn. I completely missed knight f4. Why would you trade your knight, Mr. Vlad? You know, the idea is your knight should get on c4 for free after you play something like bishop h2, f4, kick my knight out, and then you put the knight on c4. I mean, I'm very happy to trade this knight, you know. Very, very happy. King h1, yeah? Wait, the king h2, which one? It's probably king h2 actually. Well, if you allow my bishop to be centralized, we will do so. Make it so. Engage. When is part 3 of your book releasing? There are several ideas. Alright, thank you, Mr. Logic. 1370 visitors. Your BFF Serrano beat Nakamura and Magnus back to back in the Blitz segment. Congratulations. What do you mean BFF? What is BFF, by the way? I have no idea what BFF is. Please explain to me all these acronyms. I'm just a dinosaur. Living in my dinosaur world. Best friends forever? Oh my god. Serrano? Are you serious? The guy who flagged me so many times? No way, man. No way. I strongly dislike flaggers. But you were joking, of course, so I get it. I get it, you were joking, man. They're all flaggers. Well, Serrano is very dangerous. On a good day, he can beat anybody. I'm surprised Andreikin has actually slowed down these days. He used to be, you know, winning Title Tuesday on a regular basis. And getting good scores, but lately he's been like, I don't know. He's been playing like an old man. I expected him to score higher on league. Yeah, I really expected him to score higher, man. Alright, this is critical position, actually. Absolutely critical position. Okay, so d7 first, yeah? Or knight c7. Alright, fine, it's d7, yeah. Yeah, but once you play c4, you take away a square from your bishop, then I can play knight f4, yeah. Now black is okay. Because I managed to get one of your bishops and then black survives. You were better with a pair of bishops, right? Oh, you have king g4. Why the hell did I think king g4 was impossible? Oh my god, I thought this was impossible. For some reason I thought this move was impossible. Well, you gotta do what you gotta do, yeah? Even if you change down, you have to create some active counterplay. I mean, otherwise you're just freaking dead anyway. Probably I'm dead here anyway. Thank you for subscribing as Prime, Mr. Chesao. When you played an OTB event, even Boris Gelfand played the event. Boris always plays these. What do you mean? He always plays these events. Rook d7 check, yeah. So king e8. So, Mr. Falcon, what do you think? Can you win this? Interesting question, yeah? I'm pretty sure you can win this, but it's not going to be easy, especially after this last move. You know why? Because I'm pretty sure you missed Rook G6. Maybe you didn't take it seriously. Because suddenly your king is on the mating net, yes? And the pawn endgame is okay for me. You get 3 pawns per knight, but I take on h5, I take on e5, and then I go with the king to c4 and I take that pawn also. Mr. Vlad, but now with the knight on e5 alive, black is better. You know that, yeah? Because I'm gonna protect this knight with everything I've got, including playing g5. But Mr. Daniel, why are you playing so fast? Why are you giving me a bishop? Come on, man. Calculate. Dude, you need to solve tactics, okay? So, you know, ideally in the day of the game, like in the morning, I play one computer game, I don't know, 5-0, and see what my form is. If I'm blundering too much, if I'm blundering stuff, then I solve some tactics, okay? And then I'm feeling, you know, propped up, and then I go to play the game. So I highly recommend you to get the certain, you know, testing system in, you know, like testing what form you're in, yeah? And then, you know, it helps you focus, okay? You even allow f4, my god. So, Mr. Falcon, hopefully this gave you an idea how to defend worse positions, okay? You look for ways to make sure your knight has nice squares. GG. So I was talking about the line that you obviously saw, but I don't know. There's rook f7, okay? That's the only way for you to play for win. And then check. And you go into this endgame. And I think this endgame is, according to the computer, this is equal. 169 is equal. So here, take, e6, king d6. Yeah, so it's actually a win for you. But you have to find king f7. I was only looking at h5. And then it's a draw, yeah? Because of this trick. Yeah, but king f7 wins for you, yeah, because I completely forgot that you can push this pawn. You push e pawn, okay? I didn't see that. I was only calculating h5 and knight f4. Knight f4 in this line. Yeah, this line is a draw. So that's why I said that the pawn endgame for me is equal. But apparently it's winning for you still. Well, there's check first, yeah. This is the move order, yeah. I didn't think of this move order. If you have this move order, then this is not good, yeah. Damn. This is really not good. Yeah, this is not good. Alright, this means I have to play 97, yeah. Which really sucks. Rook d8, rook b5, queen e6, rook e1. You still take on d5 and you have bishop pair, so I have to play like this. Okay. How many simuls are giving? I'm trying to do them every week. Sometimes if I have events or if I don't feel well, then I skip, but that doesn't happen often. Oh, thank you for reminding me. Tomorrow, January 1st, I will try to put in some videos on YouTube from these past month simuls and stuff. Alright, let's play something else. Yeah, this should be winning, yeah. This is surely winning. So I think the tactics works in white favor here, yeah? So after queen f4, d6, bishop e6. Yeah, because this is clearly win for white. Because everything is pins. Yeah, the pawn is coming. Extra knight. Just not good. GG. Will it work pending for the YouTube editor? I don't have any YouTube editor which is why I'm just, just copying these videos and just putting them straight on YouTube the way they are. Nothing fancy. Alright, now that we have, let's organize the rook lift, yeah? That's how you put your rook, okay, from A8 on the queen side to the king side. Because where else would this rook go? Otherwise you would have to double your rooks like this. But rook A7 just saves you so much time because you can play actual rook to H7, yeah? Alright, thank you for the game, man. Logic is thinking? Or he is away? I have no idea. GG. So this is the ideal position you can get. Your knight in the center. But Mr. Texas Pete, why not just take the pawn? You want to take the pawn in the best circumstance possible? Yeah. Hey. C5, D4? Is that your plan? I see. I see. Alright, rook E8 maybe. Rook C6, okay. I think it's time to make a Luft, yeah. It's probably a good time for Luft. This is kind of a big advantage for white, obviously. But because of the double pawn structure, I keep some hope, for the defense. Obviously, I take with the rook. Your heart sank when I played d4. Come on, man. London system starts with d4. The whole London system starts with d4. And bishop f4, second move. You don't know it? Alright, good. But you'll have to sort of learn it a little bit at least. Because everybody plays it. Everybody plays it. Everybody and their mother plays it. I have a feeling Texas Pete is setting me up some traps. He's sneaky. He's very, very sneaky. That Texas Pete is very sneaky, dude. Alright, I don't know. I don't see it. Let's play it here. Probably the queen belongs on f6 though, to be honest. Yeah, I think queen f6 was just normal move. Queen a3 is a gambler's move. But okay, why not? I was trying to play tower's defense. You just started learning queen's gambits. You mean the show? That was a good show, man. Pretty good show. Oh my god, that is such a sneaky idea for you. Alright, queen f6, yeah, normal. Activate the queen. Tarish defense against me. Tarish defense. The good old Tarish defense. It's very solid. Very solid opening. Highly recommended. Sure. So rook on h7 now does absolutely nothing. Yeah, we have to bring it back. Like where are we gonna bring it? Back to g7, I guess. Yeah, what else can we? Where else can we put it on? Is everybody thinking? Oh, it's my move. Right. I don't know, just 7, yeah. Now I have to think of a breakthrough somewhere. Where will this breakthrough happen? I don't know. I don't know. I can only suspect. That's not good. Bishop g5. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about. That's exactly the move I was thinking about. Yeah, well, I think black is okay. Yeah, your pawn on b5 is good. My pawn on a5 sucks. So a5, b5 was good. So I probably should have taken b6 maybe, because I was not sure about this position, but apparently this looks pretty good for you. This looks pretty good for you. Unless I come up with something absolutely brilliant. But what exactly is brilliancy, I don't see it. However, I do have one idea. So, Mr. Logic, what do you think about this move? Hello, Mr. What? Nicholas Della Colina. Big fan, thank you. I appreciate that. No, that's not brilliancy. I was just looking at the candidate moves and suddenly this move popped up into my mind. And because you don't get to play f4 in such structures a lot, you know, I was thinking like, what else can I do? I was looking at knight b3, knight f3, knight f1. I didn't like anything. Then I think, hey, wait, the bishop on g5 is unprotected and my rook is on d5, yeah? There is another way to protect my knight from your lousy bishop. Yeah. Well, your bishop is actually not that bad, yeah? Compared to... If my pawn was on a4 and your pawn was on b7, then your bishop is lousy. But my pawn on a5 is a target for your bishop, so he's no longer lousy. He's potentially a very dangerous adversary. Okay? A potentially dangerous adversary. No, 4 is not brilliant, it's just... It sucks, I think. Probably I should just play rook d1, yeah. And who cares about this knight or bishop? Just trade everything, put heavy pieces on the d file. And then, if it is a draw, it's a draw, yeah. If today is the day when you have to make a draw, today is the day. Remember that Matrix Revolutions? When the machines are drilling into Zion? And Captain Nayum, or what's his name, yeah? The leader of those infantry units, mechanized infantry, yeah? He's doing the speech. Pretty rousing speech. But bishop queen g2 allows g4. Why would you allow g4? Ideally, you should not allow g4, man. You know that, yeah? I mean, your queen on g3 was perfectly placed. He was hitting the rook, hitting the pawn, hitting everything. I mean, on one hand, you're paralyzed, more or less, yeah? But still. But if you allow g4, it will be played. Because now my rook is not under attack by your queen, and you can... I mean, with your queen g3, if I play g4, you can take with an f pawn, my rook is hit, yeah? Right, this music from this game is so boring, man. Let's go back to EQ. Let's go to Natimbi. Ooh, yeah. One of the threats here is knight f3, because forces bishop and then pawn takes and rook smashes into g2 square with a tempo. Bishop h6, yeah. And I just want to take on e5, I guess. Open the file for my rook so I can create potentially something. Hopefully. Hopefully. Oh my god. Although probably a 5 was objectively better, but okay. I don't know. Yeah, I no longer like my position. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. I no longer feel comfortable with my position. Check. You're under check, sir. Alright, just g6, yeah? Just protect the bishop. And now queen d2 is extremely interesting. Yeah? Also, of course, you can take, and go into this endgame, which is by far superior for black, because again, your king is cut off, your bishop is bad, my pawn structure is probably queen f2 is just winning the game, but I mean queen g3, gh3 is probably just the one endgame, but kind of like queen d2. I think queen d2 is just better. There's so many threats. Threats. What is the threat? Maximum threat. What is the maximum threat? Check. Yeah, this is good. Queen d2 is probably faster because there are so many threats, so many tactical threats. It took so long to decide between queen b3, queen d4, rook e5, and c4. You played bishop b3 anyway. That's why I have so many time problems. Ah, well, Texas Pete, welcome to the world of serious decision making. Yep. And in order to do that, you have to trust your calculation, right? And evaluation skills, which requires constant practice, and practice makes it perfect. Only practice can solve this problem. And the more you play, the more, evaluations you see, the more lines you can, you go home after the game, you analyze, you confirm something, it helps you next time. And the more games you play, the more you analyze, and the better you become at this, yeah? This is the thing that only gets better when you practice. Trial and error. There is no solution, except, with your experience, yeah? One of the big problems, even for strong players, is when you have many seemingly similar candidate moves, and you don't see much difference between the two. So you shuffle back and forth between first, second, third, and you keep going like this, yeah? And then your time goes by, yeah? Yeah. That's the decision making, yeah? And confidence in your calculation skills. And sometimes just realization that, okay, maybe you're not winning immediately, so the game just goes on. So you just have to play what is optimal move. It's not winning, but it keeps an advantage. Yeah. So just have to start playing, you know, a little faster, taking decisions faster. If you already calculated everything, but you can't decide between which one is better, I mean, just decide on one, and in the end, the computer will probably tell you that both of these moves are good, right? Sometimes you see the computer analysis, and it shows you 3 different lines, and all lines, they give you approximately the same evaluation, which means there is no right or wrong move. You just have to pick one. Yeah, my rook obviously stays on d5. I'm not gonna touch this beautiful rook. It's beautiful rook, man. I don't know, what is the threat? What do you want? You don't want to play rook f5, right? So what am I like? Let's go a5. I mean, you probably want queen e1 or something, yeah? That's your main idea, I think. Alright, so let's play king f8. Let's make sure there is no mate. Rook d7, activating rooks. Bringing in the heavy guns. But basically just trying to survive. Because white is not better, not with the king on g1 being so wide open. That king, white cannot be better. Maybe a little bit. A little tiny bit. Because that queen on b8 is just god-awful queen, man. You need to start treating ladies with a bigger respect, man. I'm sorry, man, but that queen on b8 shows lack of respect. Exactly, Mr. Texas, we just move. Is there room for a game? If you subscribe, there's always room for a game. Was the player with the good time management? I think Vishanen was considered to be one of the fastest players, you mean? Thank you for the game, Vlad, by the way. It's -8, yeah? So the critical moment was run here. So after a5, which the computer really doesn't like. See, I told you, bishop h2 and f4, yeah? That's your main idea. You have advantage. Wow, one move, huge difference. So queen h4, bishop h2, what's the difference? Oh, f5. Ah. And if I take queen d4, yeah? I forgot about this. I forgot about this move. But you have to see knight f7 here, yeah? Because it's all pinned. Oh, I didn't see queen d4. Because if you don't see f5, then white is just better, yeah? But after f5, you go and he cannot take because rook e3. It's absolutely critical line. Then black is fine. So that's why white plays bishop g5 usually, yeah. f6, bishop here, knight f7. Then queen c2. Ah. g4. I knew it. I knew you were a tricky guy, man. I just didn't realize how tricky you are. Man, g4. That is so tricky, man. Damn, f6, queen h4 still, yeah? That sucks. And that queen h4 is coming anyway. I knew king f8 was somehow, I could, yeah, that's why I wanted to play h5, yeah? I smelled the rat, man. I smelled that rat. I had a feeling, you know, sometimes this intuition tells me things. I should be, what kind of moves I should be making. I did not listen to my intuition. And I paid a price for it, yeah? Fine. Rook c4? What? What do you mean rook c4? What rook c4? Seriously? What is this rook c4? My God, really? It's possible, yeah? Rook c4, wow. Yeah, I thought we were joking, man, but apparently you're not. Alright, fine, queen d5 has to be played, yeah. You don't have to think much about this move. I mean, centralizing queen, attacking pawn, protecting pawn. Queen in the center is the strongest piece ever. I mean, don't even think about it. Try to survive as long as possible. Yes, Mr. Vlad, but you went into this defense mode, and defense, playing passive against Grandmaster does not help. Because you put yourself into lost position, into worse position. And the terrible thing about being playing such a passive position is that you have zero chance to win. You pose zero threat, first of all, right? And second of all, you're gonna lose. You have more losing chances if you play passive than you play more active, okay? Because when you play more aggressive, you at least pose some threat to your opponent. So he has to think more, okay? Mr. Logic, you probably forgot about rook f1, right? There are two rooks. Okay. Mr. Logic did not forget. Who forgets logic? I mean, well, it's rook a7 anyway, yeah. Because we're putting black into passive squares, and then we're gonna attack something. Because if you play rook f5, immediately there is rook takes e4, right? So you take your rook away from potential rook takes e4. Oh, rook e1. That's even stronger than king g2. All right, Mr. Texas Speeds, good game. I resign. Too early? It's not too early because you take and then you play back queen h4. Right, I missed all the tactics, man. Good job, thank you. I was pretty sure this position was okay. 21, knight c6, okay. Yeah, queen d7 was a huge mistake, and bishop f5, yeah. Yeah, I thought I saw rook e8, but I wasn't sure about it. I thought rook e1. Then queen d7, yeah, of course. So f5, rook e5, queen f4. Yeah, this whole line, like, you need more time to think about it. I was not ready to invest so much. So push by 5, d3, queen d7. Oh, it says d3 is okay. So actually I'm okay here, yeah? What happened? I was scared of rook b5, to be honest. Oh my god, I play knight e7, I hit your rook, Jesus Christ. My queen hits your rook. I'm a fucking moron. I forgot that my queen hits this rook. I thought you take and you take this. Oh my god. And then black is okay, yeah? Completely. Because some point I play h5 and I trade your bishop and black is fine, yeah. Alright, never mind. Hello, Mr. Alex, с Новым годом вас тоже. G4? No, but I miss this whole thing. When I gave you the pawn on d5, it's just much better, okay? So Mr. Logic is going to the rook endgame, in the queen endgame, yeah? Alright, let's go. It's probably a draw. I agree, it's probably a draw, yeah? What is a little better for white? Urshel Des. Thank you for subscribing, Mr. Shodas. Hello, Happy New Year to you too. Alright, this person who just challenged me, Urshel Des. In the channel, who is it? Ah, Urshel Del Destroyer. Thank you for subscribing, man. Okay. I got it. Sorry. You gotta make 2 moves, Mr. Urshel, okay? Because otherwise the system flags people as inactive. Alright, we need to quit this game. G6, D4. I used to play this as black, you know that? And then people came up with this knight D2. No problem, you didn't miss much, man. Knight c7, yeah. It's a really good opening for the blitz game, but for the classical game, probably not. Yeah, it's interesting that I used to play like this myself, but only after d5, e5, then I put the knight on c7 and go for this e6 blockade. Yeah, you gotta play e5 anyway. It closes the Grunfeld bishop on g7 pretty badly. And then black is sort of stuck with this bad bishop on c8. You can challenge me again. For my subscribers, anything is possible. Time control. Well, I plan actually to end a little bit earlier than the New Year's Eve. So if you want to play the game now, it has to be a shorter one. It has to be like 30-30, okay? But you should not really allow h5 in the Grunfeld systems. One of the dangers of this setup is because with the pawn on e5, sometimes white plays h6, and if bishop ever goes to h8, and white puts the pawn on f4, that bishop is not coming out for the rest of the game. Okay? That's like the Grunfeld player's worst nightmare scenario, okay? So that's why in the Grunfeld, you see a lot of guys playing this. Or in Pierce, or in any other system where you have fianchettoed bishop. And the other idea, of course, if you take on g6, right, it creates this huge problem along the h file. Huge problem. So, for example, knight g5, yeah. Well, knight g5 is a little cocky. You know what, let's play knight f1, just open the bishop, yeah. And let's see how the game goes. Sometimes you have to flow with go with the flow. And be confident that the position holds enough resources for you to find the correct plan. Okay, you cannot have absolutely everything under control. Yeah, sometimes you just have to trust things, but you will find the right and make the right decisions. So I have a feeling this queen should be here. This is a very common move in Petrov for black. So it should be okay in this also. Hello, hello. That's one of the ways to try to bring your queen to the attack, okay? So Mr. Logic is going for logical queen d5 thing. I do have a question. If I play queen c8 check, where is that king going? Where is that king going? Well, you know what I want, right? So the queen is going here. Because sometimes you don't know where to put this knight, to put the queen there, yeah? So you have to do it like this. You take a lot of moves to do that, but, you know, if the rest of your pieces are basically on ideal squares, then you just move the lady, yeah? There is no rush. Sometimes the lady has to move, not the pieces. Now the queen is in the perfect spot. And what is missing? What is missing is the rook on the h file, yeah? Or the knight on g4 going to h6. That's the only thing that's missing. Take. XMDO subscribe at tier 1. And the challenger here. Wait, who was the challenger? Thank you for subscribing, Mr. XMDO. Alright, Mr. Owace, is that you? Chess Vedon? Alright guys, those of you who are challenging me, please raise your hand in the chat so I know. So, you're Owace? Okay. And the other guy is Chess Vaden. Who is Chess Vaden? Thank you, good luck you too. You need to make 2 moves, right? Okay. Do you know about this move? Yeah, you gotta be mindful of the time. Yeah, King G2 probably is good right now. It's probably okay. FG6, very interesting. Well, regardless of what, we need to get this bishop out there, yeah. New message from Chess Vaden. You can't type in chat, really? I don't know. I don't know why. Actually, let's bring this rook here. So we need to grab this pawn with the check, yeah? Take, check. Well, you don't have many options, yeah? So you have to go, check. Yeah, and I wanted to keep my bishop alive, actually, because this bishop is an attacking bishop. So I want potentially to keep him alive, but I didn't want him to close the rooks. That's why I played rook d1 first. Then you put him back. Then you just push this queen out, and you hope for the best. So it's the queen endgame. It is now a queen endgame. Queen f2. 2 extra pawns, but some technical difficulties, obviously, because of my king open position. But nothing that should be too difficult. On Twitch said we have 1300 viewers. Maybe somebody rated earlier. Let me check. No, I don't think so. It is possible that we are put on Twitch Chess TV. I think that's maybe one explanation. Guys, can you say like, wait, the chat is what? Chat is probably restricted, yeah? Emotes only chat, no. Subscribers only chat, no. Everybody's allowed to type here. So I'm pretty sure all these guys are just here for the Chess TV. Hi Dora, hi. What's up? You guys came from Chess TV, right? We're not used to so much attention here. That's why people are curious, okay? We're just nerdly chess old-timers. Only knight g5, yeah, because the second knight should be there. My god, this guy knows his theory, I don't. I don't know this theory. I just play this hoping he doesn't know stuff, but he does. Oh my god, okay. How do I play here? I have no idea. Oh my god, chess theory sucks, man. Seriously. Some nerds sitting in front of their computer 24 hours, 7 times a week and comes up with some new ideas in chess. My god, what can I say? Guys, get a life, yeah. Just play chess for fun. How do they play here, man? Don't even know. I don't even know. I think it's e5 or something. Alright, so knight g4, yeah. Queen d6 allows queen d4. I thought queen d3 was more accurate. Hello, Mr. Falcon. Yes. You weren't recommended when you opened Twitch? Ah. Mr. Falcon, thank you for gifting 5 subs to the community. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, because for some reason, you know, there are not that many grandmasters. Wait, there should be a lot of grandmasters, yeah? What is... Let's see. What do they show on Chess TV? New Year at Angel's Place, then they show Alessia, Jeffrey, Krikor as popular streamers. I'm not even on the list there, so I don't know. But thank you guys, thank you for coming. You know, thank you. You want to recommend a channel for the list, really? Okay, thank you guys, thank you for coming. I guess we old timers also have a chance at Prime Spot TV to show how we play chess. It's pretty awesome. All right, hello. So guys, what do you think? I think that instead of now, I was thinking to play g3, king g2, so I can put the rook here, yeah? Because that's what you usually do, but instead, I can see that we can maybe just play rook e3 and put the rook via here, instead of... So instead of spending 1, 2, 3 tempos to put the rook on h1, we can maybe just spend one move and play here, yeah? Then the big question is, and then what? Yeah. And then what? What have we achieved by playing all that? Actually, you're blundering stuff. Actually, I can take it now, yeah? Yeah, I think he just blundered. Because if you take with the rook, then there is rook knight h6 check, yeah? And then you have only one move, yeah? You don't have many moves. But you see what's coming, right? This knight goes to f7. It's gonna be a fork. Dude, you had 1 hour to think, man. Use your time. Thank you for the game, Logic. So Logic, you messed up when you played Rook C4. Yeah, Rook C4, allowing Rook D7, Queen F5 was not a good idea. I think ideally what you need to do is chase my rook immediately. Okay, Rook C7, Rook C6. You need to trade one pair of rooks. After you trade that one pair of rooks, then you know my king is less protected, then your queen can come out and you can protect your king side easier. So you need to trade stuff, okay? Alright, thank you for the game, Mr. Urshel Destroyer. We have one game remaining. Alright. I'm not your teacher, I'm just giving you general advice. I'm your advisor. You can call me your general advisor. Alright. Yeah, okay. Well, text to speed, you like it, yeah? Okay, good. It has a ring to it. Alright, so take on b5 or play bishop f4. What do you guys think? You know, this is an extremely interesting position to play. I think sometimes people even just give up this pawn on e5 so they can, you know, do things like g5, d6 or something. This is crazy, crazy line. Have to be tactically alert all the time. You know what? I'm just gonna pick this pawn. Who cares? I mean, who cares? I mean, I need to get some investment back. Yeah. So he takes on e5. I take on c4. In the end, it's equal material, but a little bit better position for white, I think, because pawn structure is a little bit better, and there is still potential for the attack. Yeah. I mean, there is a reason when I played this as black, I never went for this. I just felt this was way too dangerous. I just grabbed this pawn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Equal material. But a little weakness here. This is also kind of suspect. Potential for h5, h6. Also castles, rook e1, and start hitting this pawn, yeah? I like white's position. I like my position, guys. I don't know about you, but I love my position, actually. I think it's pretty awesome. You know what I think? You welcome, you know, play classical chess blitz. You need to play some classical chess if you want to get better, okay? With his 9 GM International Grandmaster title. Magnus said in his interview with Chess.com that Alireza is head and shoulders above all other young stars of the game. You know, that's actually terrible that he voices his opinion like that, because the only result from such a statement, it could be only negative for everybody involved. It could be negative for Alireza, because he might think he's really such a genius, and then he will stop working and improving. Second of all, for the other youngsters, because all the efforts will be minimized and they will feel like, you know, shafted, you know. And third of all, I don't think it's really that accurate, okay? Because now that the candidates are gone and there is, you know, there is no ranking, there is the only ranking there is with the Nelo, yeah? So who is to say who is the best junior player right now? I don't think he's qualified actually to do that. So I kind of disagree respectfully with Magnus that Alireza is head and shoulders now. I mean, look at Vincent Keimer. He scored second place in the Rapid World Chess Championship. Abdusatorov last year won the World Rapid Chess Championship and he had a phenomenal result in the Olympics. While it's true that Alireza qualified for the candidates this year, but that was basically one shot. All right, he shared first place in Vaikanzea, which was 2 years ago. But all these results, they were 2 years ago. Okay? There is nothing that can give you a picture for what is happening right now. Okay? So I kind of disagree with that. And I actually don't like the world champion to be making statements like that, period, because a statement like that can only make things worse. Okay? It reminds me of what Gary used to do. He would also say a lot of stuff about the youngsters. But it's normal, I guess. You know, a lot of world champions have been asked about, you know, what they think is the most promising junior, etc., etc. But their responses are always like, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Okay, that's what I would do. Yeah, I know that Alireza has a lot of fans. I'm actually, you know, when the candidates were there, I was rooting for him, obviously. But, you know, you have to be also objective, okay? It's important to remain objective. I mean, Alireza lives in my hometown. So I see his dad and his mom sometimes. His brother is streaming also on the street, I mean. So I say hello, etc. But he's a very nice guy. Hardworking, nice guy. But yeah. But there are so many talented chess players and youngsters, so I feel like, you know. So the next time we see will be the World Cup and the FIDE Grand Swiss, yeah? Unless they're changing the system. I think they just changed the whole system again. Yeah, they're always changing stuff, which is very interesting. Which is probably good, you know. Wallbang, what's up? Are you planning to celebrate the New Year on stream? No. Yes, Mr. Hamed. I'm in the lovely city of Chartres. With a beautiful cathedral. Where do you think the bells are coming from, yeah? Sometimes when I was streaming, you guys heard the bells. Hi. At your place, 2250, correct. Jesus Christ, I'm married, so no, you're not allowed. Thank you. Yeah, it is 2255, but in general, okay, give or take 5 minutes, who cares? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We're here for chess, man. So bishop h6 is one of those moves that, you know, I wanted to do something about this bishop, but technically speaking, I should be playing rook e1. And the moment his bishop goes to g7, that you play bishop g5 and you hit actually this pawn on e7. That's what I should have played. Bishop h6 is not correct, okay? is not the correct move. It's not the worst, but it's not correct. God, I love this music. It is so epic. I should also listen maybe to some World of Warcraft music. Guys, those of you who played World of Warcraft, what kind of music do you guys have? Is there some awesome epic music there? They should be, right? I mean, the game has been like old also forever. Thank you for subscribing. You're already in 2023, you're watching me from the future. My God, thank you. FB3i, thank you for subscribing for 19 months. 2023. Where's that, by the way? Where's that? Where are you from? CSGO Wallbang. Mr. CSGO Wallbang. That Asia? Japan? A lot closer, yeah? Rostov-on-Don, okay. Yeah. My wife's parents, yeah, they also had the New Year's like 5 hours ago. Yeah, okay. Alright, very funny, yeah. So white should just centralize probably at some point and go for the central pawn formation, yeah? Woo. So there should be advantage for white, but still not easy. So how are we gonna play next move? Should white go for d6 break? Should I go for h5, h6? Or just sort of pile up on the e-pawn? All these are viable options, yeah? Also knight a3 just to move the knights. Yeah, knight d7, I was thinking about that, yeah. Knight d7 was one of the moves that I thought was pretty necessary, yeah? Developing, creating knight d6 threats. So we don't have any World of Warcraft dudes here? Come on, guys. Somebody should have played World of Warcraft here among you. Tell me about the music in the World of Warcraft. There should be some awesome music there. You played it when you were 5? Then obviously you do not remember the music. Yeah, so I'm interested in the music from the World of Warcraft. You only played World of Warcraft, or you only Warcraft 2? Huh. You never played World of Warcraft? My God. Well, to be honest, I also never played it, but I played EQ, which is older than that. And this music is from EQ, okay? I had some really good friends. I made some really good friends in EQ that I played together with like for about 10 years. Yeah. Last time I spoke to them was like 5 years ago. They started a new server and asked me to go and play with them. I was like, to go through this hell again? No. And then about 2 years ago, I made two new characters again. And I decided to do everything and level up my Shadow Knight and Mage, yeah? And I did my epics, both 1.5, on both of them. And went through all the same stuff, except that, of course, you can't do much of the raiding content with just, you know, Mage, Shadow Knight, and 2 Mercs. Yeah, there's not much you can do of the raiding content. But I did all the single content right up till House of Thule, I think. And then I said, enough grinding, I'm done with it, I'm not doing it again. So I quit. But I'm always tempted, like in March and April when they do the anniversary. They have those special missions. They're fun as heck, okay? So those of you who played EQ, you played anniversary missions, you know how fun that is, right? Those are great. Yeah, but, you know, enough is enough, yeah. Sometimes I do miss those raiding days when we were raiding with Stal, Plane of Powers. Those were fun days. And that's about that time when the World of Warcraft actually appeared. And everybody from EQ, almost everybody, they went to World of Warcraft. But EQ still lives even today. I'm surprised, but it does. EQ is EverQuest. Could listen to Hans Zimmer's masterpieces. You know the guy, yeah? Wait, this is Paul Romero and Rob King stuff. They were the original music. Yeah, they created the God for the Gates of Destruction expansion. That music and that expansion was so awesome. It was hard as heck. And people were complaining how hard that was until the Planes of Power came. So people doing the Planes of Power, and then finally they could do the previous expansion. They did it. But, you know, I think almost everybody agreed that that expansion was like one of the hardest but also most rewarding ever, with some unique mechanics in the game. It's like, I remember I was rating it also. I was like, oh my god, it was hard. So after 97, oh wait, I have 20 minutes left. Why am I talking? I should be playing here something. Exactly. Except I don't know what to play here because this 97 is an awesome move. This move is pretty awesome. Because I don't want to play knight a3. That is chicken move. We don't play chicken moves. We play awesome moves, okay? That's what we do. Because knight on a3, bishop b7, knight on a3 kind of sucks. Like, you know, who is this knight? This knight is nobody. So what are we gonna do then? I don't know. That's why I'm thinking, because I think like black probably equalized. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think like white is better at all here. Yeah, so I have to play this, yeah. There's not much of a choice. Wait, I'm actually blundering. Damn. So I was thinking for 20 minutes and then I blundered. Go me. Go me. The music from World of Warcraft Vanilla is really good. You like walking the zones with it on. You play Civ. Civ? Oh. Oh, Civilization. Chess Doctors! Raid with a party of 9. There are 9 chess doctors in the chess worlds? Come on, guys. I know that there are more doctors that play chess. There are way more chess doctors than 9. You should bring them all and have a party. Yeah. I mean, doctors is actually very hard, yeah? But if you allow all medical professionals who play chess, then it'll probably be like thousands, yeah? I mean, medical profession is like so huge. We shall party until the end of the days. All right, Mr. Chess Doctors, appreciate that. Wait, wasn't that a movie like that? The End of the World Party or something? You need doctor for all what? Oh my god. For the Queen Botez sax, the famous Botez Queen Gambit, yeah? I don't know, man. I maybe blundered one or two queens in my life, but that's about it. I always had big respect for women, especially the chess queens, yeah? Huge respect. Chess queens, you know, make chess people very, very happy. Right, okay, so it looks like a draw, yeah? So I have to take here, that's blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it looks like equal position now, yeah? Maybe a little bit better still for white, because I have 2 versus 1 on the 2 versus 1 here on the side, yeah? So I can potentially run them, but I don't know, I'm not so sure actually. It looks very equal. Weren't you studying medicine? No. I mean, sort of. But, you know, when the time came and I had to make this, what is it called? Not the incision, damn it. When you had to make a shot, yeah? I was like, there is no fucking way I'm making a shot. I don't want this responsibility. No, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to have to cut, shoot, put a shot into other people. That's not. I'm not ready for it. No. No. So that's why I'm not a doctor. Okay. I don't have the guts to do that. Yeah. It's actually amazing that before that time when I actually had to make a shot, I actually put some instrument into another person's body. Before that I was not sure, okay? I thought maybe I can do it, yeah. But when the moment came and I actually was given this instrument to make a shot with, and I look at this instrument, I look at this person, and I look at myself and I said, like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not ready for this. And there we go. No more God of the Doctor bullshit. No more. Look at my beautiful centralized queen. My god. Isn't she pretty? Just look at this queen. Isn't it like the best thing that you ever saw in your life? Guys, I mean, admit it, right? This queen is awesome. It's so pretty. So the only thing that is missing is we have to try to sort of deny this thing. Yeah, so let's play b3. Because this bishop is also pretty amazing. Usually I'm all in favor of knight and queen versus bishop and queen, but in this case, The discrepancy between this knight and this queen and the harmony between these two guys is just such a huge difference. Hitchhiker Guide to the Galaxy had End of the World Party. Oh, that's right. Yeah. By the way, Mr. Stolen Stalemate, when you say that, you better hope that your wife or girlfriend is not nearby. Right? Yeah, we don't want to get them jealous. Nope. All right, queen to b4. An active rook on c2 also. Good thinking, I like that thinking. Also creating a threat of rook c5. Damn. And also creating a lot of, you know, harmony now, right? Queen is brought closer to the knight, the rook is active, creating more threats. Good thinking, I like that. So since the bishop has done his job, it's probably time to get the fuck out of there. Let's get the fuck out of there. Potentially you want to bring the bishop to g2, right? Protecting the king, supporting possibly the pawn movement later. That's another reason why you put the bishop back. Okay, so g3 and bishop g2. Regroupment. Regroup. Except that I feel that this rook on c2 actually needed to be moved. Yeah, maybe bishop d3 was actually more accurate. Get the rook out of c2. Yeah, rook d8, correct. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't think this guy would find it, but he did. He found it. He found these moves, and now he wants to double his rooks on the second, which cannot be allowed. Yeah, we cannot allow that, man. So play like this. And we try to use the fact that the queen takes away the hiding squares. Queen takes, okay. It's time to push the pawn, yeah. It's time to push these guys. Well, we still can. Queen c2. Well, a5 still here. And guess what? Guess what this jacks from League of Legends? Bishop on f1 is my jacks. Alright? If this is jacks, then this is probably Scion. But this is Aurelia. Guess what? Jacks is favorite phrases. I'm back. Woo! Protecting the pawn, hitting the square. Dude, you're blundering, yeah? Oh, we don't have time, okay. Oh, he's blundering, but okay. Let him show the error of his ways. You had a perfectly good position, then you blundered in 2 moves, man. Alright, let me show you. Queen b4. What did you play? Rook d8 here, yeah? Rook d8 is already in accuracy. Yeah, but this position is very close to equal, yeah? Still a little bit better for white. But this is not good, yeah? You gave me a tempo, because you gave me whole tempo. In this position, every move counts. Yeah, I was thinking queen a3 was probably better. Just go, you know, after this pawn. Try to hit it. And then it looks pretty equal to me. After rook d8, I think you had to play rook c8 here. But maybe rook c8 is already not good because of bishop a6, yeah. Alright, so rook d2, take, a4. And you guys see this, yeah? Material is equal, but because we have 2 versus 1, very powerful queen and potentially powerful bishop, this is why the computer says it's +1, because this knight doesn't have really good squares. And it's +1, yeah? It's very unpleasant. You had to play queen d2 here, I agree. It's very unpleasant position. This is what basically Fischer versus Taimanov. Every time I see positions like this, it reminds me of that famous game. Yeah, that's why it's good to know classics. So all of you, good game. Hey Webmaster, what's up? Happy New Year to you too. So guys, all of you who don't know classics, yeah, go back at least to the time of Spassky, okay? Relook at his games in the World Chess Championship match, Spassky versus Petrosian, then Spassky versus Fischer. But before that, you know, the 6-0 wins by Fischer versus Taimanov, and then who else he did? Ben Larsen, right? 6-0s. And then his match against Petrosian, right? Because those were like his epic moments. That's when Bobby played his best chess, I think. And of course his match versus Spassky, yeah? So if you don't know those games, you should take a look at them again. Because all the modern champions from Karpov to Kasparov, they all learned on those games, okay? Bobby became the golden standard for that era. The last thing you remember was b5. I have no idea, man. I think b5 was correct, but e5 was not. Yeah, I think, oh, yeah, that's what they play. Yeah, I was thinking about it, because h5, and there's like huge analysis. They take with the pawn here. No, they don't take with the pawn, but with the knight or something, and a b4. Yeah, these huge lines, I don't know, man. Apparently after knight d7 or castles, you're better. But after this, I think it's about equal. So the computer says queen e2 plus 3. Okay. Actually, that makes sense. Or bishop h6 immediately. Yeah, castling is chicken move. This is definitely bad. Yeah, queen e2, bishop g5, rook d1, rook e1. This is advantage white, okay? This is huge advantage white. This was terrible. Rook e1 here, and so queen e2. I was supposed to play queen e2 here, and a4. Okay, rook a d1 looks better actually. Yeah, rook a d1. So this is better, but I think black has reasonable drawing chances here. So yeah, it's still a bit disadvantage white. So the opening, again, I remember when people first started playing h4, I was like, what? But do you know why they started playing this move? Because there was this line in English. Here, g6, knight f3, d5, cd5. So originally white started thinking to play h4 here, okay? Then they decided to play h4 here. So they've been trying to get this h4, h5 as long as I remember. Then finally somebody bright came up with this idea. Okay, why don't we combine this, right? And play h4 here. Not take on d5, but h4 here. All right, and Medvedev played like this against me in 2013 World Cup, and I was like, you know, I didn't think he would play this line, so I didn't prepare this line, but he did, and then during over the board, I had to come up with something. Because it was the second game. The first game I won in the beautiful Sicilian attack. If you guys saw this game, it is in all attacking textbooks. I sacrificed a piece, I put my pawns on e6, f7, and I made it his king. So this was the second game of the match, and he played h4, and I barely survived the second game. Then I went on to play against Tomaszewski, and against Tomaszewski I made a critical mistake to play for a win with white in a position where I was slightly worse. Instead of taking a draw, going to the rapids, which I should have won, I think. And if I beat Tomaszewski, then I go into the quarterfinals, semifinals. And then I play either Andreikin or Kramnik. I think Andreikin. Yeah, and then I had... and then it was not clear, because I think at that time I still was pretty strong. So if I played Andreikin in that semifinal in Norway World Cup, I think it was 50-50 chance for me to win this. And if I win that, then I get to play in the Kramnik, and I qualified for the candidates, and then I wouldn't retire, yeah. But as the way it went, you know, I lost to Tomaszewski, and I retired from professional playing. Alright guys, it is 11:21, so yeah, there are a lot of memories. Right guys, so let me wish you Happy New Year, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, because tomorrow we have a verified tournament. 2 hours arena, blah blah blah, you know. But again, wish you Happy New Year. Let's go raid somebody. Okay, we're gonna raid. Let's see. I think we raided Angel recently, so we're not gonna raid Angel. Where's the chess? All right, let's see. Who we gonna raid? Ghostbusters, yeah. Creekor. That's me. I don't know who this guy is. Am I terrible? Tranquilizer, Derek Wu. I don't know either of these guys. Fortuna chess coach. I saw some lady there, okay. I don't know, never seen this person before. Let's raid this person. Oh, she's playing 4-way chess. Who cares, doesn't matter. Well, let's raid a new streamer, okay? I don't know. I never seen this person before, so. Alright, Happy New Year, stay cool. Night everybody.